Just introduce you briefly. Jay Baba, everybody. We have Joe DiSabatino with us, author, playwright, poet. Uh, so, Joe, please proceed.
Hi, thanks, Betty. Thank you for inviting me to share my poetry today. I'm going to share a selection of poems that I've written over the years, and always keeping in mind that at this 100th anniversary of Baba's silence, which is incredible. I was born in 47, so the silence was only 22 years old when I was born. Now it's the 100th anniversary. um, let's see. I was just reminded of a play I wrote and staged on the center a number of years ago called Silence Day Shakedown. It's a comedy. Baba Lover is walking through a rough urban neighborhood on Silence Day, and he gets mugged. And the mugger is a mugger with a difference. He's actually a spiritual seeker who's down on his luck and just needs to survive. So he's not really going to harm him, but he just wants some money. And so the Baba Lover manages to keep his silence through all this, and the mugger has his backpack and stuff, and he's pulling out all this Baba information, and the Baba Lover's not speaking, and the mugger's trying to make sense out of this, and in the end, he finally gets it, and and he gives him they hug at the end, so. And actually, I did it twice. Angela was the Baba Lover who got mugged the second time we did it. She did a good job of that. So I've done two books of poetry that I have out. This one is called, can you see? It's called In His Hands. That's one of my paintings on the cover. And then more recently, a book of haiku. It's called Haiku for the Beloved. And I think I'll have a third one out soon. All right. So I think I'll alternate between simply, you can still see me, right? Betty?
Yes, we're good.
I'll alternate between just reading, and you can see me, and then there'll be times I think I'll just do a screen share and put the poem up on the screen so the audience can also see that. Just alternate for variety. This is the first one I'm going to open with is the really the only Silence Day poem I've written. And usually I'm thinking, oh, Baba, when are you going to break your silence? We need you to break your silence. But one day I was in the opposite frame of mind. I was thinking about the beauty and the depth and the wonder of Baba's silence and appreciating it and not wanting him to break it. So this one is called Don't Ever Snap. Baba, don't ever snap your silence. Don't suspend it, bend it, or end it. Forge it deeper, stronger, longer. Make it muscle out the incessant noise. Bring on the much needed poise. In our hearts, make every day a soundless day. Every night a holy night. Unleash a biblical deluge of torrential serenity. Flood the world with waves of shattering stillness. Capsize the overcrowded boats of our rudderless minds. Drown us in your crowning noiselessness. In our hearts, make every day a soundless day. Every night a holy night. Pile drive the steel rod of your quietude deep into the bedrock of the world's soul. Then raise high the love beams of your name, high into the endless blue of your sacred hush. At least do this much. In our hearts, make every day a soundless day, every night a holy night. Aim the mighty arrow of your unutterableness into the sickened heart of the world's violence. Now's the time to unsheath the divine love-forged sword of your sealed lips. cut off the head of the devouring word beast. In our hearts, make every day a soundless day, every night a holy night. Baba, don't ever snap your silence. Don't suspend it, bend it, or end it. Forge it deeper, stronger, longer. Let it muscle out the incessant noise. Bring on the much needed poise. In our hearts, make every day a soundless day, and every night a holier night. Jai Baba. Someone once asked Baba about the pollution in the world that was building up even in the 60s. And I heard that he said that the worst pollution was noise pollution, but it doesn't just go away, it gathers in the universal container.
Baba said that? The
Yes.
worst pollution is noise pollution?
Yep, that's what I heard.
Oh, okay.
Jeff verified that, Jeff Wolverton.
Wow.
I think he's the one who told me. Yeah, that it doesn't just dissipate, go away. It's like pollution from our car exhaust. It builds up in the universal container, and it's getting, So anyway, I think that's what was behind this poem. It's like this counterforce to the noise in the world, silence. It's also ironic on the center, that highway, Highway 17. It's one. I think it's this time of year and the Friday evening, Saturday evening, but other times it's probably one of the noisiest stretches of highway because young people like to race their cars, their loud muffler cars, right there in front of the center. So you have the silence of the center and the noise of this incredible road noise that's impinging more and more on the center. But that's just Baba's joke, I think. This next one is called The Way You Walked. I've always been fascinated, as most people are, by Baba's stride, particularly when he was younger. The early videos of him walking with this a gracefulness that is no ordinary human can walk with the grace or stride. His flowing stride could walk like that. The way you walked. The way you walked, light sprinkled across the water. Cirrus clouds streaming east to west. A sudden wind, a swirl of leaves, a sunburst. Humans transport their bodies the way oxen haul a rock-filled cart, bouncing from place to place with a rugged and slow determination. The way you walked, the sight of the great blue heron gliding branch to branch. You leave barely a visible trace on where you have just been, a finger passing through air. We humans traveling leave behind permanent scars, a finger passing through wet cement. The way you walked, I'm tempted to say, as a panther, jaguar, cheetah, bobcat, lynx, snow leopard, puma, white tiger, and swift hawks and fleet dolphins. The music of your glistening limbs, Argentine, tangoing us and untangling us awake from our stumbling clumsiness. The way you walked contains all we need to learn. Jai Baba. I'll do this for the screen share on this so you can see the words to this. Let me do that. Can you see that?
Yes. Can you make it any bigger?
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's better.
So, like everyone, like those people, Baba's hands are fascinating to watch. His gestures, the rapidity of them, the gracefulness of them, always on the move, communicating on the inner planes, multi-level movements. So this poem was written as a celebration of Baba's hands. Baba, it's your hands I love the most. Those finely chiseled fingers, cascading torrents of eloquence. Fervent fingers, bright birds swinging and dancing through the tangled jungles of our ignorance. Your hands so handsome in repose, or strong fingers all aglow, massaging the pain of the world. Or the rivers of grace gliding easily through your open palms into the thirsty hearts of your lovers. The butterfly of my soul alights on your finger, delights in your perfect stillness, lingers. You dip your hands into a river, lift them out, and 1,000 new universes overflow your cupped palms, start to live. And in a high-rise apartment in some distant city, someone is suddenly able to forgive. It's our hands that make our humanity, our fingers, the visible tendrils of our desiring, shaping the world into our likeness. But your hands, God's laughter, your hands, golden ladles pouring from the bottomless well of infinity. And your hands gather the dumb and scattered stars into twisting spirals of intelligence. He's got the whole wide universe in his hands. He's got our own little Milky Way in his hands. He's got you and me, brother, sister, in his hands. He's got, and your fingers, your star-kissed fingers untwist the closed jars of our hearts. The butterfly of my heart alights on your finger, delights in your perfect stillness, lingers. So much of your body was broken, but never your hands. Light streams through your fingertips. Love dances in your palms. The 3 rings you wear, knowledge, power, bliss. Knowledge, power, bliss. Knowledge, power, bliss. In this crazy life, if there's one thing I'm sure of, it's this. The butterfly of my soul alights on your finger, delights in your perfect stillness, and lingers. I'll leave this one up, and then I'll leave the poetry up for one more. There's a famous poem, Chinese poem, it's called 10,000 Flowers, written by Lowman, he lived 1183 to 1260. And then I'm going to recite that, and then I've done my version of it, inspired by it. 10,000 flowers. 10,000 flowers in spring, the moon in autumn, a cool breeze in summer, snow in winter. If your mind isn't clouded by unnecessary things, this is the best season of your life. And here's my version, after Lowman. It's called 10,000 Azalea Blossoms, set on the center. 10,000 azalea blossoms in spring, an autumn moon over the boathouse, the white swan on Long Lake in winter, dolphins beyond the breakers in summer. If your heart isn't crowded with uninvited guests, you will hear him whispering, "This is life at its best." So, Betty, do you have any preference? I could keep the poetry up, or I could go back and forth, or not do, or just do me reading and just my. I can't hear you. You're muted.
Yeah. Maybe some of each back and forth, just for variety. But
so.
But it's you, Joe, who's you.
To be honest, I want to see what works best. All right, so back to just me. This is my coming to Baba story poem. Usually it takes me good 20 minutes or more to tell my coming to Baba story. So I decided to condense that into a poem, and I got it down to 31 lines. There it is. It's called Came to You. Berkeley, California, summer of '69. First sighting, a don't worry, be happy poster through your smile. Then the discourses in my hand through your written words. Then your darshan while watching a film through your love. Yes, then you amazingly alive in everything. The sidewalk, the trees, the clouds, the waitress who turns and beams at me as I walk past the restaurant on Telegraph Avenue. And inside the cells of my body broadcasting your presence through your grace, yes. Then through a felt sense guiding me into the Berkeley Hills. Then there on a bench, a gentle breeze, the bay in the distance, a fragrance from some other garden. And yes, through the words you inscribe inside me. Do not think of yourself in any way. Do for others, and you do for me. Love me more and more. So yes, through your ensnaring smile. So yes, through the truth of your written words. So yes, through your encircling love net. So yes, through your tower of grace. So yes, through your gentle hints. And yes, through you engraving the seal of my soul. Yes, and my heart was going like mad. And yes, I said, yes, I will. Yes. That last line was from that's Molly's soliloquy.
Right, right.
I did hear that. This is true. When I felt drawn to get up out of town, I went up into the hills, got quiet, and then I heard this voice, and it was not my voice. And this is the way Baba speaks, and it's what he said to me. It's like he gave me, here's my message for you for your life. Do not think of yourself in any way. Do for others, and you do for me. Love me more and more. What's interesting, the first one, do not think of yourself in any way. That's really impossible. So he gave me this impossible goal. And then do for others and you do for me, and love me more and more. Those are much more doable. So a stretch goal that's impossible, do not think of yourself anyway, and then to others that are doable or get better at in this life. Do for others and you do for me, love me more and more. All right. Next one is just inspired by reflections on the state of the world currently and my inner life and that intersection between the two. It's called Trouble in the Hills. There's trouble in the hills, strangers in the sky. Fires are raging. It's always high time. Sometimes I think about packing up and leaving. I want to hit the road. But you said, doesn't matter where you are. The bomb is ticking. It's set to explode. You told us at the end to sit back and watch. You lit the fuse. You kicked it up a notch. The mischievous chicken's running wild. He's pecking for the truth. Your words now are starting to hatch, and the fiddler's crying on the roof. Something's happening deep inside my soul. A road crew is slashing through the tangles. Whatever is unnecessary gets tossed out in the cold. New signs direct me to go deep inside my heart. The path is wider now. It wasn't like that at the start. Volcanoes are erupting, lava's burning deep. When I look into your eyes, it's darker than sleep. I'm going to get up in the morning and walk up the hill. Vultures circle overhead, the cobra's ready to strike. Somebody reassured me it's all God's will. There's trouble in the valley, another shooting in the mall. Crows are on the wing. I hope there's still time to kneel beside my king. I'm ashamed of my anger, greed, and lust. I didn't want to hurt her. I didn't know how to trust. It's not just the drinking water that's loaded with toxic waste. Smoke burns the eyes. Words are bitter to the taste. The only thing left that's pure is your silence, yet unbroken. Hazardous materials are buried in the mind, deposited there by talk show hosts, the blind leading the blind. There's trouble in the city, disasters in the forest. The world has to burn while angels sing their chorus. I hope it's not too late to bow down at your feet when everything else turns sour. My Lord, so sweet. I burned all my bridges. I gave away my notebooks. I sent you 30 messages, but you left me off the hook. You promised me we'd get through this together. We'd come out the other side, but you changed like the weather. My Lord, I beg your forgiveness washes over me like the waves. I know I'm a sinner. That's just the way I'm made. Everything I ever thought was true turned out to be a lie. I'm knocking at your back door, Lord, begging for a slice of your pie. There's fires up on the ridge, strange lights in the sky. There's no use getting upset or even asking why. I'm going to get up before dawn, walk up that hill and sing. I pray I'm not too late to kneel down beside my king. I read through your messages for the 99th time. One or two keep swirling around inside like the dregs of the wine. I guess I'll get to witness what you said is going to go down. All I can do is cross the railroad tracks and glorify your crown. Everyone's guilty. I'm guilty too. We betrayed him times 3. We stood by helplessly as they hung him on the tree. You said what is happening had to happen. No one's to blame. So look up again. The sky's on fire and it's spelling out his name. Um,
Wow, that's powerful. Mm.
I was inspired by Dylan's song, Thunder on the Hill. Thunder on the Hill, an early Dylan song. The rhythm of his song kind of got into me. Yeah. This one is called Swimming to You. There's the ocean of love, water, Baba's the ocean of love, and lots of water metaphors that Baba gives us. Take a dive in his pool when we're feeling discouraged. Ocean waves. So I kind of went with this called Swimming to You. Yesterday in the Samadhi, I dove through the marble surface. Down, down, down I plunged into the ocean of you. Just when I saw the shimmering white pearl of your face far off in the fathomless deep, my lungs started to burst. I couldn't keep up the pace. I panicked and floated up back into myself. Your fingers make waves in me. Since I'm afraid to call it love, capital L, let's call it swimming. Lately, I've been training for that big ocean feat in your Olympic-sized pool. I'm up to 50 laps now. Every morning, I run 5 miles along your beach, psyching myself up for that far-off day when I crash through the wild surf of your smile and keep on going. Some days, I snorkel close to shore, delighting in those exotic sea creatures just below your surface. Your fingers make waves in me. Since I'm afraid to call it love, capital L, let's call it swimming. To be honest, most of the time I'm content to splash and play in your baby pool in just 2 feet of water, singing songs of praise to you, sipping margaritas, the water not too cold, not too deep, everything just right. My preferences set to normal. Welcome to my world, Baba. Won't you come on in? Your fingers make waves in me. Since I'm afraid to call it love, capital L, let's call it swimming. I'm going to take up windsurfing next. I want to fly across the surface of your waves, feel the strong breeze of your breath on my cheeks. I want to discover what lies beyond the far horizon of your gaze. I want to explore that endless space, get to know the hidden currents, map out this thing that one day is going to swallow me without a trace. Your fingers make waves in me. Baba, since I'm afraid to call it love, capital L, can we call it swimming? All right, put it back on. Poems on the screen. You see the poems now? Yeah. Okay.
Great. That's great.
This is a poem about the very first time I experienced divine love. And it was the summer before my freshman and sophomore year of college. And I was working down the beach at a small hotel as a night watchman. I worked all night, a whole night shift, 11 p.m. to 12 till 7 a.m. It's called, so what? I was like 19 or something. Thank you for the change. Summer 1966, the New Jersey beach, Ocean City. Late evening, I'm prowling the boardwalk, a few hours to kill before my night watchman shift at the hotel. A homeless man, heavily drunk and slobbering, bumps into me. He thrusts his dirty hand in my face. Got any change, man? I push his arm away. No, get away. Disgusted, I walk on past him. So far, so human. Was it you who gave me the change in that moment? Was it you who changed my frightened disgust to compassion in an instant? Was it you who turned my feet on a dime and made them walk back to the drunk? Was it you who made me say, I'm not going to give you any money, but if you're hungry, I'll buy you a meal at that diner over there? And was it you who smiled like that through those rotten, broken teeth? As he gratefully devoured the cheeseburger, French fries, and hot coffee, ketchup dribbling down his stubbled chin. Was it you who surfed into my heart on an ocean wave of love for this stranger, this bum, this human wreck? Suddenly now my friend, my brother, myself. Back in my small closet of a room, stretched out on my bed, 1 hour to kill before clocking into the night shift. Was it you who flooded my being with wave after wave after wave of oceanic love? And it was you, wasn't it, who made me realize that was you in disguise. This poem is for you, my homeless brother. Wherever you are, whatever your name, thank you for the change. Yeah.
Wow, that was wonderful.
Yeah. True story. I did. I just like, wow, I was just feeling for this man. He's eating in the diner. And I just felt this love for him. And 10 minutes before, I'm get away from it. Yeah. This is so this next one's called Traveling the Path of Love. And what I've done is take several of my haikus and I've linked them together into a poem. And this half of the haiku I wrote take place on the Mayhair Center as a setting, and the other half take place at Mehrabad and Mirzad. So this one takes place on the center. So various images, various 3-line poems called Traveling the Path of Love. Dancing with you alone in the lagoon cabin. Raindrops drumming the roof. Flat on the boathouse deck, devouring the noon sun of you. In the reeds, a blue heron. Beneath the footbridge where you once paused, the white water lily blossom, traveling the path of love. A lifetime of mistakes washed clean by the fragrance of wisteria. To die before you die, listen to what the magnolia bloom whispers. If I could only surrender the way that alligator stares at nothing all day, traveling the path of love. Walking this path, original kitchen to your house, my shadow follows cautiously. Leave the church, the synagogue, come out to inhale his infinite beauty in this single camellia bloom. On Silence Day, a long conversation with a bemused green lizard, traveling the path of love. Today, dolphins just beyond the breakers, your name weaving everywhere. Pelicans in the wake of a shrimp boat, a crowd in your bedroom this morning. The sand in your garden raked clean of footprints, no trace of self for a moment, traveling the path of love. Summer moon swimming inside the midnight lake, shimmering in my heart, your face. Over the boathouse, on full moon wanders, your face transits deep within. Inside the lagoon cabin, irises on either side of your empty chair. Outside, roses demand their turn, traveling the path of love. Morning tea enjoyed on the boathouse deck in the company of dragonflies. Christmas Day on the center, you gifted pine cones everywhere. There is no God but God in this lilac blossom, traveling the path of love. In your bedroom, a fragrance not from flowers sends me in search of that garden. Tonight, inside the lagoon cabin, the whirling of galaxies, Venus and Mars, Argentine tango. I walked the trail to your house for so many briar-torn lifetimes, traveling the path of love. Lovers surround your bed. Lovers surround your bed. Outside the window, a jealous angel. Lagoon cabin steps, worn sneakers, torn laces. How many lifetimes of wandering? Sometimes I face the highway, sometimes the ocean. The heart is that which turns while traveling the path of love. That's it. If I got more time, let me pull up some more time than they went by faster than I thought. I'm going to pull up some.
Yeah, we got time.
Yeah, I'll pull up a couple of poems. Let's see. Let me find them here. About poems. Here we go. Let's see. I used to have this recurring dream when I was 18, early 20s. And kind of I'll read it. I'll explain itself. There's Autumn Leaves. I had a dream once. I dreamt I was blissfully in love, a perfect love, or so it seemed. I was in a pure white room with my beloved. We lived in a big old Victorian mansion somewhere in New England, I think it was. It was autumn. We were in each other's arms, our souls and hearts and bodies merging. I couldn't see her face, my eyes closed. I was swimming in a sea of orange and yellow marigolds. Like I said, a perfect love. And then for some stupid reason I can never figure out, I left her so I could rake the leaves that were accumulating in the yard. I raked and raked and raked, and the more I raked, the more the leaves fell from the trees and covered the ground. I got so absorbed in raking the endlessly falling leaves that I completely forgot about my beloved. This leaf trance went on for years and years, and maybe even more. My total obsession with making sure no leaf went unraked. And then suddenly I woke up as if from a dream within the bigger dream to the absurdity of what I was doing. I thought, oh my God, what have I done? How could I have neglected my beloved for so long just to rake some stupid leaves? I rushed back to the pure white room only to find she was gone. Crushed by a deep sense of pain and anger at my self-inflicted loss, I set out to find her. And that's when I woke up, my heart heavy with grief. Today, the leaves pile up from autumn to autumn. My neighbors complain my yard's an eyesore. The hours I spent raking, I now spend staring at her photo, longing for the days when I didn't care about the gusts of wind, the falling leaves, or the approach of winter. And all that mattered were the marigolds in my beloved's eyes. I miss you most of all, my darling, when autumn leaves start to fall. I think that's what we all do, right? We get immersed in Maya. You know, originally we're one with the soul was one with the beloved, one in the ocean of love, and we get thrown into Maya. And then at some point we went into the dream, get immersed in trivial pursuits, like raking leaves or getting into relationships, getting a career, and then getting defeats, and then waking up, and then the longing, the pain of longing. So that was that dream. I must have had it a dozen times. It was just so symbolic. And it's really a Jungian dream, the anima figure. So, so let's see. Here's one. It's called Two Swans. Quite a number of years ago, I was staying on the center and it snowed. And there was a great snow this past year that lingered for several days because it was so cold. A couple of us went sledding on the center down the hill from the cabin on the hill down to the original kitchen. Probably the only time anybody has ever sled on the center. We got a video of it. It's really fun. But on this day, it snowed overnight, and usually the snow melts by noon. So I went out to I was standing on the boathouse deck, and there's these and all the bushes that line the lake were covered with snow, and some of them, they curl over, and they're all these laden with snow. And then there was two white swans right there, and there used to be these two swans that would spend a few days on the center on the way south. It doesn't happen anymore, but it just so happened that these two swans were there with the snow, and I took a photo of it. It's really, really amazing. And that inspired this poem. It's called Two Swans, and I open with a quote of Baba's. Here's a quote. He says, "Once you open your wings to fly, you must fly straight like the swan. Do not flit from tree to tree like the sparrow, or many things will distract you on the way, and the journey is long." There, Baba. Here it is. Two swans. Trees and shrubs bordering Long Lake, blanketed with a rare snow cover. Two swans arching necks mirroring the curve of the snow-laden branches, float on a forest of shimmering white reflections. They must have arrived in the middle of the night, flown straight home, not flitting from tree to tree like those easily distracted busy sparrows still meandering their way south. Such determined and fierce straight flying into the teeth of a winter storm contradicts their delicate S-shaped bodies, seemingly designed for leisurely fishing and dreamy floating. Effort and grace arrived last night in a rare winter snow to show us how it's done. Fly straight, don't look left or right, endure all hardship until you arrive. Then paddle effortlessly on the long lake of his graciousness, head bowed, all hard-edged angles of your being smooth out into a flowing S shape signifying surrender. Okay, let's see. Oh, bear with me for a minute while I find one of my I'll put this up on the screen. I'll do this. There we go. Okay. You see that? Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Little bigger, little larger. Just one more click. That's good. Good, good. That's great.
Um, this was inspired by a Jackson Browne song called what's it called? Dark and Blue and Black. Sky, Blue and Black is the song. And it was just like the Dylan song. Sometimes I get inspirations from certain musicians and songwriters. Leonard Cohen, Joni Mitchell, Bob Dylan. It's called That's the Way Love Is. In the calling out to you in the darkest hour of the night, in the times I felt you right next to me as I ran along the sand, in the thunder of the bikers up and down the Grand Strand, in the churning of the waves after that last big storm, in the crying of the gulls, hungry and forlorn. I hear the sound of your far too beautiful simplicity and the promises I once made. Whenever I need holding, I just call out your name. I know you'll always see me through, the way the sea goes from black to blue. That's the way love is. Where the touch of the beloved begins, where the soul of my soul fades into mist. I no longer want to be me. I want to wash away my sins. There's the longing to be one, yet the pull to be separate, like the tide that sneaks in at night and wraps around like a fist. It's the age-old struggle. I can't tell who's going to win. You gave me a world where I could take a stand, where the waves couldn't touch me, where I could begin to understand. I can never see why I doubted you, why I let go of your hand. Yeah, when I was much younger, you unfurled a scroll that revealed to me a truth or two and pulled me out of my shoals. I must have believed the way to you would be like riding the back of a whale or swimming with dolphins, my heart a fluttering sail. You were touching me inside the way God's finger touched Adam's. It wasn't so much a revelation as hitching a ride on the sun's chariot. And from high above, I could watch the seven seas go from black to those shades of blues. It was a gift I can never fathom. I'd have burnt the world for you if that's what I thought you wanted me to do. I'd have thrust aside what the world says is true and untrue if I believed that's what loving you was asking me to. That moment of glory seems to have faded. There's nothing more slippery than grace. So easy to fall from that ladder. But some things never change. Whenever I need holding, I just call out your name. I know you'll always see me through the way the sea never forgets to go from black to blue. That's the way love is. You're the rose and pale greens in the morning sky, reflecting in the pools the tides left behind. You're the fireworks and the gunshots somewhere in the night. You're the blaring of the car stereos and the screens everyone's touching. You're the squealing of the tires when the lights turn green. You're the broken beer bottles and the diamond rings someone left behind. You're the hidden gain and the thing that's tossed in everything we do. Yeah, and I'll never stop searching for you on the moonlit beach and the sun-drenched boulevards, in the faces of the people who believe life's supposed to be hard. And that's the way love is. Yeah, that's the way love is. And I'll never stop loving you. It's the one thing I'm supposed to do, as the sea always goes from black to blue.
Hmm.
Seems like a good place to end it.
Nice.
Yeah. Thank you.
Wow, what a feast. That's wonderful, Joe. Well, you just keep, you are so inspired. It's wonderful. Full of energy, Baba's energy. Ah.
A lot of these poems came when I was living in India, particularly I lived in India for 5 years, from 2010 to 15. And the last year I was living just down the road from that little shop at the bottom of the hill. And a stone's throw from the Samadhi. There's my place, Jal and Dolly's, and then the Samadhi. And I lived there for a year. So that's where a lot of these poems started coming that year. And then a subsequent year when I moved back, when I left India. So, yeah.
Wow. And are you at Myrtle Beach now? Living in Myrtle Beach? Oh, not far from Baba.
Yeah, a little more than a stone's throw, about 4 miles, but a long stone's throw from the sun. But the poems still come, not as frequently as those days, but they still come. Yeah. Yeah. So,
Thank you so much. Boy, I'm gonna look at those books. You're full
here,
of full of Baba.
books are available at Sharia Press and also Sharia Books, and also on Amazon. Yeah. All right, Jay Baba and Silence Day may be 100th Silence Day, may be deep and special, and let's all appreciate his silence, the wonder of it. Okay.
Thank you. You have helped. Thanks, Joe.
Bye
So
now.
so
Bye.
appreciate your coming. Thank you.
Jai Baba.
Okay. Avtar Meher Baba Ki Jai. Jai Baba.